Why is it that only 5% of people invest in personal development? I was reading the book called Slight Edge by Jeff Olson the other day, and it struck me when I read he was mentioning that only 5% of people typically invest in personal development. Why is that? And got me thinking, and I want to share a couple of pointers there drawing from my own experience and why I think personal development is key to growing and fulfilling your potential for all of us, really. So for me, actually, the journey started 12 years ago. Maybe even before that, of course, we all read books and learn things, but really investing in it, taking courses and attending one of these events, specifically personal development events, that was 12 years ago. I signed up to an event called Fire Your Desire with Andy Harrington, very much the same format that Tony Robbins does. 3-day event where we got to walk on fire, break woods, and go through all that mindset things about believing in ourselves and the can-do attitude. And in fact, yes, I did came away from that event with the new sense of belief and excitement and energy. It was incredible. With these events, the problem is after the event, you come back to your normal life and it's kind of boop, everything goes down, almost crashing down to reality. But nevertheless, it did ignite something in me. It did. I think it was the trigger in me that made me decide, okay, I'm not gonna go back to job anymore. I was working as a contractor in 9-to-5 jobs, and I thought to myself, that's it, I'm gonna pull the trigger and launch my own business. So it did give me the courage to make that step. Now along the way, for a couple of years, I invested a lot. I got really immersed in the whole personal development. I attended seminars and read books and paid for courses, and it certainly helped, but also I had a bad experience that put me off from the whole thing. What was that bad experience? That was a course I invested a lot in, £5,000. That's about $7,000 in a kind of lifetime membership with this program that was all about fulfilling your potential, about social businesses, about adding value, about having a meaningful business that also helps and contributes to society. So it all sounded good, but in reality it was really thin on practical implementation and the coaching and accountability that could really make a difference. So for me, it was really, I think the things I learned ultimately wasn't something that helped me implement something meaningful, that helped me with the growth that I wanted. It was all, I can say, a bit airy-fairy, nice sounding, feel-good events, but I didn't feel like I took away something that I could implement straight away. So having that experience and the whole program really ended, it didn't continue. The lifetime membership stuff they promised, it didn't happen. The vision they had sold to us, it didn't materialize. It all kind of crashed down and became smaller and smaller, and so I stopped. And that left a bitter taste for me. After that, I think I became a bit skeptical towards the whole thing. I went back to more traditional ways of running a business, and kind of gave up on the idea of I can turn my passion into a business. So I found something I knew about softwares and software engineering and software consulting. So I built a business around that. But again, it wasn't close to my heart, so no wonder it didn't really took off in a way that I wanted, and it was always I had to push myself doing that work. So what changed? Fast forward a few years, what changed is that I got back into the whole personal development, but this time I got myself the right mentor. I think that's what made a difference. That this time around I did my research. I wanted to make sure I've selected to learn from the right person, somebody who's been there, who's already been where I want to be, who's produced the results I want, and who's got that integrity. It's no nonsense, no fluff, down to the business. This guy was actually, this mentor I'm talking about was Dan Locke, and discovering him really got me back into the whole scene, this time with the right mindset and with the right accountability. Because here's the difference between learning a lot that doesn't do anything, but actually learning something that you can implement. Where's the difference there is that, one, you have the accountability, somebody that actually have the structure in place that gonna help you implement everything, take action, push you, as opposed to just being on your own and learning self-paced. And that's something that I've done many years, but wasn't really implementing. I didn't know how do I implement it. Yeah. So, but with the Unlocks course and some other courses that I signed up after that, and the mastermind group that I surrounded myself, that's when it got me back into rediscovering really that how much I this is something I enjoy. I care about personal development. I enjoy investing in myself, and I know that there are these pieces of puzzle that if I put back together and implement them this time around, I can really fulfill that potential and that vision that I've always dreamt about. And that's this time around it did work, and I'm all fully in now this time. Thankfully, things have evolved past few years. I think we have so many good courses and books now, much more and much better than what it was available even 10 years ago. And it's easier to cut through the nonsense and crap and find really effective practical advice if you buy into the right book, buy into the right program and the right mentorship. So that's what I wanted to share. Bit of insight, maybe went on a rant a bit here, but I wanted to share that. And also really the whole purpose of this YouTube channel is for me to now share this experience so that people who are on that journey can learn from my experience. So that I've tried so many of these courses now. I know the ones that are really good, producing results, not only for me but also for the people I've seen in our groups, in our community. And really the mentorship programs that work are the ones that have that community aspect. You're not on your own, that you're actually part of a community that are there to support you. And that's where it makes a difference, because once you're surrounded in the right environment with the right people, that's where you get the energy and inspiration, as opposed to being on your own. That's what I've experienced anyway, and that's why now this time around I managed to, when I found myself in the right network, I just connected with more and more like-minded people, and the kind of growth-minded and the kind of successful people that I take inspiration from and learning from every day, and also support me in my growth. So that's the kind of thing that I'm going to be sharing. That's what I do. I review the programs I do, and review the books I do, and I'm going to put a few of those links down on this description. So subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to hearing your feedback, your comments and questions, and helping you crushing it in this new exciting time of creating your lifestyle business and becoming financially free.